Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday, and Monday sucks. How are you guys doing? How's everybody's doing right now? It's Monday, um, first week of June. Vacation, family, kids are out of school. Pretty much, people getting vaccinated. So obviously, people are out there in the streets. But Monday Sucks doesn't happen without the man, the myth, the legend. Even when he's on vacation, he's here with us. Even when he's on vacation, he's
My
here with
dude,
us.
my dude, what's up?
Timmy,
What's up,
what's
buddy?
happening,
How's it
man?
going? It's going, man. It's going.
Dude, I'm
It's
disturbing your vacation right now. And I had to ask you this morning, like, are we doing this because you're on vacation?
you
It's
know, it's
family
funny.
time. It's important.
My father-in-law actually asked me last night. He goes, "Are you doing your show tomorrow?" And I said, "Absolutely, absolutely, doing the show tomorrow." And then you text me this morning. And you're like, "Hey, are we doing the show?" And I'm like,
Hey,
"Internet,
just want to
internet,
make
internet,
sure. Just want to make sure.
internet willing. We're doing the show." So
Yes,
try to get this
yes.
light working here. Here we go. There we go. That'll work.
Yes. Just if you're watching us right now, if you're on Facebook, make sure you give us a heart, a like, push the heart button, and share with your friends, share in your whiskey group or whatnot. If you're on YouTube with us, make sure you actually share with your friend as well so they can come and party with us. I know it's summer, most people are in kids' activity. They're jumping in, trying to interact as much with family as possible, and the world is opening up. So since the world is opening up, a lot of restriction are down. How are restriction in Kentucky?
So for the most part, I think bars are open. It's 75% or full capacity. I'm pretty sure mask mandates got lifted. I mean, I haven't been there for almost a week now, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, being here in Montana, I walked into a store tonight with no mask on. Like, didn't even like think about it.
God's
Just
country is God's country, man.
I mean, and to be fair, there was like two people in the store and he had a mask on anyway. So I was just like, okay, whatever. We're just gonna do the no mask thing. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think in Nebraska here we are
I was gonna
done
say, what's
with
going?
masks.
Are you guys still doing masks or no?
Nope, we are done as
Okay.
of May 29th. No mask,
Okay.
no nothing. 100%. We back on full fledged. We are ready to go. So pretty much, this weekend I was at an art bag event.
I
So
saw that. I saw
yes,
that as I was traveling. I saw this and I was like, man, everybody's on this art bag and I'm on a plane.
yes. So the craziest thing,
You
uh,
gotta tell me. Okay, so you gotta tell me about this because I didn't get a chance to see any of like what was going on or a chance to interact. So I'm super
so
curious to like hear
so
what was
if you're into
is art
whiskey,
bake. Does it happen every week, every year?
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, cool.
So if you're into whiskey and if you're into single malt, and specifically if you love Isla whiskey,
Hmm.
um, the festival of what do you call it? The festival of Face Isle. So it's
Okay.
Feisile. So is the harvest slash moon. It goes back to the Viking time.
Oh wow. Okay.
So during that time on Isla, on that portion of Scotland, there's a festival for a whole week, and
Okay.
each distillery have their day, right? So it usually
Oh,
start,
cool. Okay.
yeah, it usually start with Bruichladdich.
Okay.
Then from Bruichladdich, usually you may hear from Lagavulin or Port Ellen, and then the main event itself is Ardbeg. So
Got it. Okay.
usually is right by the alignment of the moon. So Ardbeg Day usually doesn't fall always on the same day. It falls sometime
Ah, okay.
beginning of June, or 3 or 4 days depending on the lunar cycle.
So,
So
oh wow. So it's 100% dependent of when when's where's what's supposed to be, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
usually last year I think it was on the 1st of June. This year is on the 5th of June. Is the first. Last year our big day was all virtual. This year they did it also virtual. But I forgot Boonahaven. So is Brooklady, Boonahaven, and then Ardbeg. So
Got
the
it.
day
Okay.
before is usually Boonahaven Day, and the day after is Ardbeg Day. So
Got it.
mainly and mostly about celebrating harvest, bringing nice cask, good food, bringing people together, and really enjoying Ardbeg. Ardbeg is also one of the rare um, distilleries that actually have a committee. So if you look
Right.
at any of the Ardbeg,
The committee releases.
correct. So you will have your committee release, and then you have your non-committee release. So
Okay,
usually,
so
can
can I be inexperienced and ask you what the whole committee thing is?
So the committee of Ardbeg really is an association of people that live on Isla or
Got
the
it.
surrounding that help pick a cask. So think of it really as a big group or a smaller group with big adjacent people of barrel pickers, right?
Got it.
We
Okay.
give
Cool.
our opinion about what's going to come. So usually the committee release is usually cask strength is the original. It is kind of a priority. The non-committee release usually is what the mass gets. So that's what the master
Got
distiller
it.
for
Sure.
everyone.
Okay.
So usually everybody kind of want the committee release.
Sure.
Most people on the big market would get the non-committee release, but I get both usually. And some years the committee release is better, and some years it's not.
So like I recently got the committee release of the black and the non-committee release of the black, and I think I liked the non-committee better. I don't remember.
You're onto something there.
Yeah, I think I liked the non-committee better on that one.
Yes, you are onto something because
Okay.
last year I was actually a little disappointed by the committee release.
Okay.
Which last year was the black.
Well, the black. Okay.
So this year was the scorch.
The scorched. See, I didn't even see that one pop up anywhere.
Oh,
Like,
it was.
but that's the thing. It didn't come through. It didn't come through any of my channels. The Ardbeg did.
Yeah.
The pirate one did.
The Ardbeg, but that one was also special because Mickey, which is the one of the master distiller of Ardbeg, was actually retiring this year, and this was his farewell committee release bottle.
That's cool. Okay.
So he got to blend his own Ardbeg and release it for that purpose.
So did it have anything to do?
History.
Did it have anything to do with Rumcast or no?
No.
Oh,
it was
okay.
more pirate related.
It was just pirate history.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So
is Ardbeg the only distillery, the only Scotch distillery that has a committee?
Yes. As far as I know of,
Okay.
they're the only one.
And is it just an Isla thing, or is it a Scotch thing in general?
It's an Isla thing.
Okay.
Isla is kind of a special area in Scotland.
Okay, here's how I portray Isla. Isla is the single barrel snob of Scotch.
That is true. That is true. I hate to say it, but if you're fancy and your palate is quite fancy,
Yep.
Isla is pretty much where you find yourself.
Yeah.
You have to understand the complexity in the single malt in Isla is interesting. Is you get the peat, you get the smokiness, a lot of interesting cask that you get to go and you almost can't go wrong. It's so interesting. I feel like sometime, Isla is the mean girl of Scotch.
You can't sit with us. You can buy us drinks, but you can't sit with us.
Yeah, that's what Mash Bill say. Isla is the mean girl of Scotch, which somewhere I hate to disagree, but I agree because yes, Isla can be a little snooty sometime when it
Mm.
comes to Scotch. But if you really want to taste good Scotch, I hate to tell you, you have to travel on the
Drink
side
Isla.
of the so
You
you
do.
know,
I'm
I think my
discovering this.
my problem usually with Isla with most whiskey from other places is that it can get boring sometime. You know, you get
Sure.
the same cask and you get the same, the same, finish, and you get, the years, and you get things, and you go, okay, when are we getting something interesting? But
Sure.
the peat grows just like yeast, it's sea
Mm.
moss. So depending on the side of the distillery and where you get your peat from, things taste so much different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So the things that I'm finding that I really like about Isla's is I like that brininess that they're getting from the coast, and I
yep.
like that like smoky barbecue. So like
Mm,
the more so I started in Scotch and Speyside. Really like Speyside, dipped in the Highlands, tipped my toe in Lowlands, and then I
mhm.
kind of stayed. And you and I had these conversations, and you're like, if you really want to drink Scotch, you need to drink Isla Scotch. You need to drink Hamilton Scotch. You need to drink Island Scotch. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'll try it. So I started drinking Lagavulin. I really liked Lagavulin. There's some releases from Artbeg that I thought were absolutely incredible. Corey Vecken, the committee release of Corey Vecken was absolutely
Corey Vecky.
outstanding. I thought that was incredible. And now I'm really, really getting hung up on Lagavulin and Artbeg. Those are kind of where I'm finding my. I was like, I think this realm of Isla is where I like. But I
And
really like that.
the funny thing about those is that Scotch really is a discovery game, right? It's not just
Sure,
a single malt.
absolutely.
It's really single malt is really a discovery, if a discovery game. If I love Isla,
Sure.
but most people describe peatiness in Scotch as being like band-aidy, medicinal and whatnot. But really, the way I describe that is think about fresh grass
Oh
cut
man,
with some burnt end barbecue on a grill.
absolutely, absolutely. Burnt
That's
and barbecue.
there you go. Every time I
Yep.
do Scotch school and people, I pour. I don't pour any Isla. I wait
Hmm.
till we are done and then I pour it
Sure,
because
sure.
it takes over everything. So I don't like
It
to
does.
pour it. I wait. And next thing you know is once you actually start smelling it, people go, "Oh, what's that smell?" I say, "Wait, close your eyes. Fresh cut grass. Your uncle, your auntie, and everybody's sitting there, and they got some burnt end right on the barbecue, and you are walking there, and most people are like, "Oh, I can see it now." Not always a pleasant smell right away. You get
Sure,
close to the meat. So
definitely. But yeah, the more I dig into that, the more I I'm finding that I really like those. I have a question for you.
yes,
Not to put you on the spot, but the scotch I sent you, did you open it by any chance?
I did.
Can I get your thoughts on it?
It's confusing.
Right?
It's confusing, and it's not. It's like a bootleg of a scotch.
That's a perfect way to put it. That's such a good way to put it. So
So
it's a space side and an Isla blended.
correct. So for me, it's really a bootleg scotch because I like my scotch to take a stand.
Sure.
I don't want you to come tickle me a little bit about this and tickle me about that. Just take a stand.
But can I say this? Okay, I agree with what you're saying. But would you agree that it's a good gateway or a good introduction for somebody who wants to go to the other side of Scotch and
Yes.
doesn't know? Like it's like that was my thought. That's why I sent it to you. I sent it to you strictly thinking of Scotch school and thinking that it would be a great like segue into something else. That was my thought.
I have to agree.
Okay.
Yeah, what is Jeff
Okay.
saying? Jeff say he loves sweet flavor and eat too much dessert. Bourbon is the only whiskey that it does flavors.
I would disagree with that, and I know Jack would for sure.
So Jeff, I'm planning it. My first Scotch school is gonna be soon in Nebraska to announce it. But I challenge you to come to it. The reason why is I'm gonna actually debunk that immediately by telling you that I would say probably 90% of all the Scotch that are made are first aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
Yeah.
Of all the Scotch that are made,
most of them, right? Yeah, most Scotch is ex-bourbon barrels.
They finish it in something else and move it.
Most of the big distilleries here in the States send their barrels to their distilleries in Scotland.
Ex-bourbon
Right,
casks.
right.
All of them are ex-bourbon casks. So if you think like I have Scotch that I can pour you, and you will go, "Are you sure this is Scotch? Are you sure this is single malt? Because I don't believe so." And especially when we start taking single malt and going to rum cask like a Balvenie, or we migrating to into what do you call it, into a different cask of a Macallan that is more heavy port, or we going to Abalor, you are going to be lost. You'll be like, I don't think this is even Scotch anymore. And I think
It's so true.
Scotch really have this bad connotation that people come to and go, "Oh, I don't like Scotch because of, obviously the peat and all the stuff that people know about."
Those are always the things I hear. I don't like smokiness. I don't like the peat. And it's like, that's like this much of Scotch. You have your Islas, your Campbelltons, and then you have Highlands, Lowlands, and Spacesides, which are like dominating the market of your Scotches. So it's always surprising to me that small part of Scotch. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over on this, but this is like getting into Scotch more. This is what I'm getting excited about, and that's what I find so interesting. That's the tasting note that people always like adhere to, right? Like it's that, oh, I don't like, and insert like I like Hamilton or Island tasting note here, right? It's everything I always hear when people say they don't like Scotch. It's always for that reason, and that just blows my mind. Like the more I get into Scotch, that phrase or that idea, I don't understand at all.
And craziest thing is actually healthier for you. Single malt is actually healthier for you.
All right, let me hear it. Give me the
it.
elevator speech. Why is it healthier? Okay.
Mostly single malt is distilled. Level of sugar is not that high in a single malt.
Okay.
Most of them are not made with corn. There's no corn. Corn have high fructose. So which usually bourbon is much sweeter.
Sure.
They're distilled naturally in ex-bourbon cask, which usually are the one who give it the flavor. So there's no natural additive that goes into that. So literally you getting just malted barley, distilled, sugar eaten mostly by the yeast to give you that alcohol, and then you actually get only the flavor that comes from the cask. On the contrary, to make bourbon, we are using corn, malt, and rye. Corn, high fructose is in there. Then we age it in a barrel, which usually by the alcohol still stay. Most bourbon are much sweeter. Much sweeter. So like Jeff was saying, is people like bourbon because it's sweet, even though it may be crass, it's still sweet.
Sure.
Single malt, you can have some single malt that are actually not sweet.
I've had that.
Literally, you get like light flavor. And a lot of people, and that's why like a lot of immigrant that I will try to approach with bourbon will like rye but will not actually like bourbon because they'll be like, "Oh, that thing is just too sweet. I don't like it. It's too
Because
sweet."
you also, depending on where you're immigrating from,
Correct.
you have your like town, your village doing their own distill thing, and then Scotch is really big
Correct.
as well. So sure, okay, I can totally understand that. Okay, I hear you.
So when most people are drinking anything, they be like, "Oh, if you actually put bourbon, a lot of bourbon, like Jack Daniel, like Tennessee whiskey, back
Sure,
home,
sure.
most people don't drink it neat. They always have it as a mixer,
Oh wow. Okay.
Jack and Coke, and that they always have it as a mixer. They don't even know what it tastes straight. But on the contrary, they will drink single malt straight
Oh wow. Okay.
because it has just the right amount of amount of sweet for them. So
We got some shenanigans going on here in the chat.
yeah, are we talking about peated bourbon? Here's a funny thing. I have a peated bourbon. I do.
Oh yeah, no, they exist. They absolutely exist.
So
They're interesting.
Woodinville
Yep.
Woodinville made a whiskey that was aged in bourbon cask, right? Aged in bourbon barrel, but they put in the entry of it was a little too high to make it bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that 125-ish, I think it was like 135. So it couldn't qualify as bourbon. When they were bought up by Hennessy, they also have access to Ardbeg. So what they did is they took that barrel and they finished it in a peated Ardbeg barrel.
Oh wow. Okay.
And they sold it distillery only. So when I met their rep, I said, I need one of those. So she called the distillery. Then I go, there's only 3 bottles left here. I'll only grab that. Because it's one of those things when you go, oh my God.
Sure.
ILS style single malt is by far the lowest input of all, the lowest output of all. Yep. That is true.
Really? Like it's lower than Campbellton's?
Yeah. They just fancier, so everybody knows them.
Wow. See, I would have thought it would have been the other way around. I would have thought the Campbelltons are
and Campbellton, the funny thing is they don't, but they're small enough. We got to go by percentage though. They're quite small.
Okay, that's fair.
Campbellton is fair. Small.
All right. I want to ask you one more thing, and then I want to get into
New Riff actually have a peated bourbon too. New Riff have their newest, the Malster. Yep, that is true.
Okay, so I want to ask you about this bottle because I sent you a picture. Picture of this, and I was like, "Let's talk about it." You're like, well, we got to start the show, and I was like, "That's cool. We'll talk about it on the show." So I did a little bit of whiskey hunting today, and I had never seen this bottle before, and I was like,
"Oh, actually, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a few things. This is what you need to to see. Please. You get to see a little bit about my ability to talk Scotch. Hold on.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna show you something interesting. So most people actually think of Lagavulin and think of the regular expression.
Like the 8 years, they're regular expression, right?
Yes. Not 8 years.
Okay.
8 year is the 16. Lagavulin 16 is probably the most known.
Oh wow. Okay. Sure. Okay.
The 12 year is the cast strength, and the 8 year is there. So I'm gonna show you two.
Okay.
So in most distillery, something usually happens in most distillery. Every time a distiller is celebrating a milestone, you will always have either a bunch of distillers or a bunch of people in the distillery that are trying to really commemorate the distillery or the distillery itself. So usually in single malt, you will see everything will be out for a while, and then there will be a distiller edition.
Hmm. Oh,
Those
okay,
ones
sure.
are not made a lot. They're made every 5 or 10 years in a distillery,
Oh,
and
wow.
they don't usually respect the profile of what the distillery have regular because it's the distiller choice. So they get to
Hmm.
choose their own cask. They get to choose how exactly it goes.
Okay.
So this is a 2000. So this was distilled in 2002
Okay.
and was actually bought in 2018. So this is a Lagavulin
Oh
16 as well,
shoot. Okay.
right?
Is this
It's a
the same thing I
16.
showed you tonight or no?
Yes,
Oh
it's a
shoot. Okay.
16, but this is a distiller edition. So what it is actually is being double matured. That's the one.
I'm reading the bottle. I'm reading the box as you're telling me about it. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's double matured,
double matured. So
meaning
pretty much
it's like,
anything
is
that
that the
they're
same?
saying is
Is that the
double matured.
equivalent? Is that the
Go ahead.
equivalent of bourbon being double barreled?
Correct.
Like double oaked? Okay. Okay.
So
Cool.
double barrel, so double matured. So what they did is
Okay.
actually in this case, they actually use a small, smaller cask, double mature in Pedro, right?
Okay.
Pedro Jimenez cask wood, right? So pretty
Okay.
much they actually sat it in and double matured it here, double cask, right? Right.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So, but here is a funny thing. So this was done 2002, 2018.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Before that, 1995.
No way. So that's essentially the same thing, and that was the last time
No,
they did it.
also different is a different cask, but this is a 1995 distiller edition of Lagavulin.
But yeah, that's what I meant by the same thing. Like it's a
Correct.
distiller.
This
Okay.
is a
Okay.
distiller edition. Didn't even have a box. Is 4 out of 4.99. So this actually yield a little less, and this actually yield 507.
Okay.
So
Mine says 509. I'm
correct.
wondering if
So
they're
it depends
different
on which
batches.
year it is for the distiller
Okay.
edition,
Okay.
because what they do is they'll batch it and they'll release it maybe in 1 or 2 years, and that's it.
Okay.
So this is 1995, double matured. It was distilled. It was distilled in 1995, bottled in 2011.
Wow.
So these casks have been set aside by distillers that said, you know what, this is not our regular stuff, but
Got
as
it.
a distiller here, I want this to be mine. So you
Okay.
have distiller editions that are out in 2011, 2012, or 2018, like this one, right?
Okay.
So you don't know when they release it. You come off really not always often, but when you find those are special enough for you to actually try.
So what I hear you telling me is I need to go buy that bottle.
You should.
Okay.
You should. The problem with me when it comes to the distiller edition, because I have to give you the pro and the con.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's go.
The con with me is still 43 proof.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So honestly, because I like cask strength, I don't know if I would spend that level of money
Sure.
on something like that, right?
Okay, that's fair.
It
That's
is
fair.
nice to have, but that doesn't mean that that's what I want to have.
Okay.
That's my choice. That's really it.
Understandable. Okay.
So they want to know, I'm interested in something. With Scotch, I'll leave a whiskey, and by how many years?
Outlive in what way? I'm
In
curious
what
by
way?
yeah, I'm
Make it
curious by
more
that
clear.
question. Outlive in like popularity or
Popularity, or
I know Scotch can last longer in a barrel than bourbon can. Like you'll see.
Somebody said that's exactly why they like the Lagavulin 12 over the distiller edition, because obviously it's cat strength, and
Yep.
So here's actually a fun facts about Lagavulin. I found it very odd, but speaking of odd, So all the regular expression of Lagavulin, right, are all even numbers.
Oh
So
shit!
you got
Except for the
eight.
Nick Offerman edition.
No, 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 no. But here's the funny thing: all
Okay.
the special release
Are
that
odd.
is a collaboration are all odd. So
Okay. So that's when
the
you always know you
Lagavulin,
have a collaboration.
correct? The Lagavulin with
Got it.
the Game of Thrones is 9 years.
It
Offerman
is
is 11,
11. Yep.
and they're gonna do the Diageo one, the Diageo one that is coming out, which is a nature edition, maybe the
Okay.
19. So
Ooh.
they're
Okay.
very every collaboration that is not their core line is all odd years.
Got it.
Their core line are all even years. One day when I walk in Lagavulin, and that's the first question I want answered before anything else is why.
Check
You are
the
the
eye
I
of
love
those.
Nebraska mean girl on that one. Okay. All right. So truly, if you getting into Scotch, definitely hit me up. Know when Scotch school is coming in your town. Is always an eye opening when people actually get into Scotch to actually go, oh shit, I didn't think I would like this, but I really do. I really
Sure.
do. And
Yeah,
and
you can see
and
the
I
view
will
behind
tell
the
you
gun.
what, my favorite people when it comes to Scotch school are all women. Women tend to appreciate good Scotch over men, and that's on period. Like it is so weird the amount of women that actually have a palate for single malt than men.
They do. They do.
They just I
Well,
don't know
look
they
at Rebecca. Rebecca's a perfect example. Rebecca's not crazy about bourbon, but she will fuck me up when it comes to Scotch. Like she will destroy me. Like we're done. We're done here.
yes. That's one of those things where I can really appreciate uh how much women are more involved into single malt than actually men. That
Yeah.
is something. But anywho, on this Monday,
Five
I, I
bottles.
took I took the liberty to choose our subject of this Monday because my man Tim here is on vacation, and I had the idea. I said, okay, let's talk about uh, bourbons or whiskeys or bottles that you take with you on vacation. Right? We want 5 bottles. If you can go on vacation with 5 bottles, what would you take with you on vacation? Right? Because it's vacation time. People are traveling, driving, going around, visiting family, whatnot. What would you take? If you
So
hear,
for
make sure you actually make sure you write in the comment. I didn't tell y'all. I'm drinking a single malt today. I'm drinking an
oh my
Iron
god,
single malt.
I
Is a
love
quarter
that
is a
distillery.
quarter cask. It's 56 ABV. I've
They
been in
did.
love with Iron soon. Iron is a
They did
little
a.
tiny island on in Scotland that make their own whiskey because they just they just knuckleheads like that.
They did a 14-year-old Sauterne finish that was absolutely incredible.
Yes,
I love that distillery. Okay, so 5 bottles.
Iron is
So
quite interesting. So we have 5 bottles. So
I'm
we're
on
gonna
this
go
guy.
one by
This
one.
guy. This guy comes with me a lot.
Okay,
Um,
what is that?
this is Heaven Hills 6-year bottled and bond. It is discontinued, but my hoardish self squirreled some away so I can have some for years to come. So I like to bring that one. I really like doing Elijah Craig single barrels.
Hmm.
Um, it's a good proof, especially if you're going on vacation with other family members or other friends. Having a bourbon that's a kind of on a lower proof level, it's more approachable for more people, and you can partake with something that you enjoy with more people.
And guys,
So I like to do.
if you're watching us right now, make sure you put the list. The 5 bourbon you take on vacation.
Yes, please, please, please.
Put your list. We'll actually show it on the screen. 5 bourbon you take with you on vacation.
So
I'm
my
very
number
curious to
one.
see what people no, but 5 bottles. So it doesn't have to be bourbon. I'm sorry. It doesn't have
No,
to
no,
be
for
bourbon.
sure. 5 bottles,
Five
absolutely.
bottles. because in the 5 bottle I would take actually on vacation is actually one of them is bourbon.
Mm, mm.
Because believe it or not, when I'm on vacation, I like to vary each day. So you so far you take
Elijah
Eagle
Craig,
Elijah
no,
Craig,
Elijah Craig, and specifically a single barrel.
a
So
single
like
barrel,
any
right?
any store single barrel, it's just a single barrel of Elijah Craig.
All right.
Next thing would be an Eagle Rare single barrel.
Eagle Rare single barrel.
They're a little harder.
So far you got 3 bourbon. You got you have Heaven Hill with Evan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill, and then you want Buffalo Trace Eagle Rare. Anything else?
Yes. Next bottle. This is gonna be the third one. Crown Royal Apple.
This is a no judge. This is a judgment free zone. Judgment free.
Crown Royal Apple.
Crown Royal Apple. Okay.
Crown Royal Apple
Okay.
and cranberry juice is like my F it all day drink.
Okay. What is the last one?
The last one is gonna be actually a bottle of scotch, and it's a 12-year lager forward.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Our first person posted. So the Bourbon Jeeper Matt said he's gonna do he'll be doing Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, a Pina Hulk Rye, EC, Elijah Craig B520, and
Eagle
so far it looks like we have
that's a good lineup.
Yeah, that's
super
good
good
lineup. A lot of bourbon. So you just gonna drink bourbon through the whole vacation?
See, okay. I gotta have some change, man. That's why.
So here's my list. Here's my list.
Let's hear it. Give it to me.
So every time I go on vacation, if I have to take anything with me, I'll always take 2 single malts.
Okay.
1 vodka, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 gin.
Okay.
Right? And 1 bourbon.
Dope. I'm about it.
Always.
I'm about it.
The reason why is because every time I go on vacation or I'm traveling or boys night, not everybody loves single malt because of course I have a lot of immigrant friends. So a lot of single malt. I take the gin for a selfish reason only because I like to make myself, I always love to make myself a nice Negroni, stay outside, stay in the sun, enjoy a Negroni, right? Just love that bitterness and that. And mostly only rare people like gin. So I kind of eliminate everybody then because if you drink all my single malt, I still have gin. I can actually make me a nice Negroni, right? Sure. And the good thing is since I have my bitters and my Campari, I can make myself a Boulevardier with the bourbon. So I will always take a cask strength. See, if I have my choice right now, I'll take my cask strength bourbon, which usually I will either take myself what do you call it? I'll either pick up one of the Old Forester cask strength right now. That's what I would take with me because it's hot as hell. I'll take myself one of the Kentucky Wild Turkey. Turkey cask strength. So I would take one of those. Second will be a good gin. I've been digging the Castle and Key. The
Roots and Ruin?
Castle and Key gin, right?
Have you gotten the Roots and Ruin yet?
Oh yeah, no, not the recent one. The old one is what I have.
Okay, sure. Okay.
And of course, I would take myself. I never go anywhere without a Buddha having, and I never go anywhere without at least a 22-year or 23-year Kirkland Space Side.
Oh my god, dude! Their Space Side is stupid good.
So and then
good.
Literally, and then any vodka would do. Now my bougie ass will always do what do you call it? The blue one, the beautiful blue one. It's always
are you talking about for a gin?
No, for what do you call it?
For vodka.
Vodka. The blue bottle, French flag on it. Grey Goose.
Okay. Grey Goose isn't really blue.
Grey
Maybe
Goose,
it is. I don't know. I was
Grey Goose or
thinking. I was
Tito's?
thinking. Sapphire.
Tito's is
I was thinking.
usually what I do if I'm actually have a big group. Is Tito's. So I always do that. Let's see what the people are putting out. Yeah.
Elijah Craig
Brother
small
here
batch.
is saying
Awesome.
Elijah Craig.
Oh my
Everybody's
God.
taking
Yes.
Elijah Craig. Old Forester,
Oh,
Compass
Compass
Box,
Box.
Glen Scotia, and Crown
Crown
Royal.
Royal.
Okay.
There you go.
All
There
right.
you go.
Let's
There
see
you
what
go.
else is here.
Blood Drawn
Glendronach
15.
15. That's a good one.
101
Turkey
rye.
101.
That's a solid one too.
ASW
Alberta Dry
Fiddler.
Batch
You know, I have
5.
the ASW, but I never actually tried it. I need to try it.
You know what's
Alberta
funny
Dodge.
is I love the cash strength bourbon. I think it's great. But anytime I'm on vacation, I hardly ever take the cash strength bourbon with me.
Castren with you. Yeah.
I am 100% like 100 proof is usually the highest I'll get. Sometimes I'll bring our Russells with me and get like that 110, but I usually don't go over 100 when I'm on vacation.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Somebody would take Ardbeg Ugadal, Iron Root,
Ooh, Balcones Rye,
Balcones Rye,
Rumble.
Balcones Rumble, and any
Ooh.
Abalor. Okay. Hello, Daniela. Daniela, hello. She's my cigar expert. Hello, Daniela.
I like that people are throwing in like cordials or like
So,
liqueurs.
somebody
or,
say no. Johnny Walker Green
Johnny
is
Walker
when I'm
Green.
home. I'm home trying to
That's
trying
not a
to
travel
have some
thing.
peace.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% in. Kirkland have vodka and actually is actually Grey Goose. Yes, I do know that.
It is.
Grey Goose is chopping up both potato. Chopin is better. Okay. All right. Okay. Cliff. Okay. Front director is saying EOS.
All right, front director. I see you.
He would take Weller 12 or 107, Russell Store Pick, Old Carter, and Smoke Wagon. Let me see. Cypher is saying something. My list change depend on where I'm vacationing. Okay.
I agree with that too.
I have to agree with that. So Wild Turkey Rare Breed Bourbon will always be in the mix. Okay. So that's
So
the
here's
one
the
thing.
thing. So years ago, we went to Hawaii, and I brought 5 bottles of rum, and all I drank the entire time was rum. I drank no bourbon at all. Nope. The whole time I was in Hawaii, rum. So sure, I can get down with that. That your list is going to change depending on where your vacation is, for sure.
You know, the funny thing is the one thing I would say is my list is going to change depending on the season where I'm vacationing. Because if I'm vacationing in the winter,
sure,
it's all rye, Castron single malt, and Castron bourbon. Because I gotta keep my bones warm the whole time. I'm making hot tatties. I'm only drinking shit that is literally woke up a dead person. That's all I'm doing. But if I'm traveling during the summer, I need to make sure I have some vodka with me, some gin with me. I need those light drink that I can actually throw in a little bit of apple juice, some orange juice, and just get on the road. But the whole if I have to actually drink anything during the heat, bourbon, like single malt, is what I can handle during the heat. Like bourbon during the heat, shoot.
You know what okay, here's the thing. Okay, when it's hot, this is what I drink. Since it's come out, every freaking season, it's Long Branch over ice. I put a whole bunch of ice in my cup and I just pour Long Branch in it. That's all I drink. That's the only bourbon that I can.
You know, I never had Long Branch ever.
That's the only bourbon that I can mess with when it's hot. Other than that, I'm not drinking bourbon at all. I'm drinking gin and tonics. I'm drinking something that's got some kind of fruit juice in it. Yeah, I drink a lot of gin in the summertime. A lot of gin, a little bit of vodka. Very, very few bourbons.
Which is also very interesting because as whiskey lovers, most people actually will look at you and go, you know, is that people kind of restrict your palate into something, right? Most people will be like, oh, Jack is coming. Make sure you bring some scotch. No. Oh, yeah. So this is actually a good statement. Unless I'm traveling with the guys, I actually don't bring anything. Looking to try something I can find locally. That's
That's
also
cool too.
I call it
That's
the
cool too.
adventure traveler, right? That was probably one
There's
of the
there's
best.
plenty of times when there's
That
plenty
was
of times
probably
when
one
I've
of the
gone to
best trip
Alabama.
I took in Texas. I actually went there
Oh,
and I'm like, what
absolutely.
is local? You know, what is local, right? And I went to this distillery in Benton, Benton, Texas.
Yeah, Benton. Benton, yeah.
Yeah, Benton. They have their own everything.
Yep.
Wasn't up to par with my palate, but I enjoyed it.
But you did it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
like
call
checking
it?
out the local scene.
Oh,
Spears Brothers
they
always do
want to
good.
know if
Hey, there
you
you
need a
go.
roadie. What am I drinking tonight? What am I drinking tonight? I'm drinking Aaron quarter cask single malt from Aaron.
And I just finished this bottle.
That's what I'm
We just
drinking
finished off
tonight.
that guy.
Single malt cask strength. It's Monday. I just finished at the gym. I deserve cask strength. You know the funny thing is every bottle of Aaron have the geographic location of where it is. So you see the geographic notes on it
Oh yeah, on the cork.
on the cork.
Yeah.
So you can tell exactly where like if you look here, let me turn this thing off. Let's see if so if you look at it here, you see that
Put your hand behind it.
they will usually show. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see here.
It gives the coordinates, right? Like the
Yeah,
north and the
hold
or
on.
the longitude and latitude.
Yeah, here you go. So we give you the longitude and latitude.
I can kind of make out the N. It's like an N5.
Hold on. Yeah, right here.
Oh, there we go.
So it will show you the longitude and latitude of where it is.
That's so cool.
So is one of those things where you go, hold on. All right, let's kill the intensity of the light. It's too light. Right there. You see?
There you go. Yep. Yep.
You see exactly what it looks like. And look at the bottle.
Oh, it's on there too. That's super cool.
Yeah. And are you ready? If you pay attention to the bottle itself here, there's braille on it.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
braille
that's
on it.
super
So
cool.
even if you don't know which bottle you're getting,
You're
you can
getting it.
literally put your hands on it and you can find the bottle. That's probably one of the coolest thing I found about this bottle. So, anywho, now that I can appear, show me back. All right, I'm back.
Oh man.
All right, I look cooler now. Look at me, all yellowish. All right. Not too light, not too dark. Boom. Look at me, I'm back. I am back. All right.
You can see the background. You can see the background.
Yes, I see that. So, what do you call it? A roadie's always preferred. Drink a sidecar when it's hot outside. Yes, but I don't really like. I get heartburn really easily, so I go easy. I use apple. I love pineapple juice versus actually orange juice most of the time, and I also like cranberry juice over anything.
Cranberry juice and pineapple juice are my two
Yeah.
go-tos for sure.
TSB, Rucksack. Can't can't know what you like the best if you can't try them all. Okay, that's true. That's true. So, needless to say, is everybody here told us what they would take on vacation? 5 bottles they would take on vacation. Because the reason why I asked that is because I feel like most people are limited in their palate. Most people are limited by certain things, and I always truly want to put up something that I want to take with me, or try something that I'm like, you know what? I'm going on vacation. I'm taking tequila with me. I'm taking
Sure.
tequila with me. Yeah, because I'm like, let me, I'm going out. No one knows me where I'm going. I can be wild. I'll be out here wine, having some tequila. You know,
That's actually what's going on upstairs. I grabbed. I guess they wanted to do margaritas tonight, and there's some people in my family who have never done a shot of tequila. So I said, we're changing that tonight. So I got a big bottle of tequila, did some shots, and it's quieted down a little bit up there, but it got real loud at one point. Everyone's having a great time. They're drinking tequila, doing shots, having some margaritas. But yeah, I like that you brought up 5 bottles and not 5 whiskeys, because
no.
I don't ever want to pigeonhole myself. Yes,
No.
I'm a bourbon guy, right? I like bourbon. That's my go-to. I like single barrel bourbon. That's always going to be my go-to. But there's so many other things that I enjoy. I love a single barrel rum. I love an extra aged rum. I love an Islay Scotch. There's plenty of gins I like. I don't understand vodka, but I use it to make drinks. I like Canadian whiskey.
Vodka is good to make drinks. I tell anybody, you can't hate on vodka because you can use vodka at any time. Vodka is like that friend that you can have at any time. It goes. Vodka is the friend you take everywhere, right?
It really is. Yep. But I never want to limit myself to just one thing, because that's when you get complacent.
I have this barrel aged tequila right here.
Oh, okay. They're one of the first. Okay, they're one of the first companies to do Cristalino. They did Cristalino before it was called Cristalino, and now there's this new subcategory of tequila called Cristalino. But that distillery was the first people to do an añejo and filter out all the color. That distillery is freaking awesome. I love that distillery. Dude, yes. Yeah, but look at my view though. Like
you know, our
look at
viewers
my view though.
People that watch the show are the worst. They're the worst. Like no, they have no chill. Literally have no chill. He goes, "Sorry, I'm late," but from what I gathered in the last 30 seconds, this is what it is.
Speaking of people who watch the show, I felt like somebody tried to get into it with me this week about something I posted.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because
let me make sure I have a drink in my hand.
I was really perturbed by that. Like, it really, really upset me, because I felt like somebody was trying to come in and start a problem where there wasn't one. There's no problem. Am I safe to say there's no problem between you and I about me saying you're a black man, right?
There isn't. But here's the thing. So to explain to people, you made a post because.
But I also understand where she was coming from. 100%. Okay.
So you made a post.
I didn't want to downplay what she was thinking or feeling. I think it was very accurate. But pertaining to our show and what we're doing and what we're going through, I feel like it's very, very important to bring light to that.
Yes.
So. Would you agree with that?
Yes. I would agree. So to make it clear for you guys, this weekend pretty much marked the first time Tim and I actually talked in a year before we started this show. Actually, I think is July 7th or 8th is when we did our first official show. But the craziest thing is he posted about how he's grateful that we met and we made all these things happen.
I posted.
Yes, and he posted that he never imagined that.
I gave an origin story, like a short origin story of Jack and I. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like, and the word, the word he uses, that he never thought that, he came on my live and then this black man just go, "Hey, dude, let's connect, let's get together and whatnot. Because obviously, if you look at me and Tim, we kind of polar opposite. If we show you both of his hands right now, he got tattoos, he got the beard, he's tied up, and there, and then this is me, blendo, regular schmegular guy, just a regular schmegular black guy that love anime, talk about shit, and very nerdy my way, So it's quite. I mean, he wanted to highlight really how different we were, but yet we actually found something to actually get together and make this thing happen, this brotherhood happen, especially in light of all the things that happened in this world in the last 14 or 2 years. It really was
Sure.
something that he wanted to bring to light to say, hey, if him and I can do it, anybody can do it. It's not about color. It's not about who you are, where you from, your origin and whatnot. I'm an immigrant from Africa. He is California born. Tattoos everywhere. Looks like he's the
Look like we
beginning of
just
what
got out of jail.
rednecks should be. And look at me. I'm like, I literally look like a black lawyer or a black priest that just got out of the church. So yes, very polar opposite in where we stand. But when he posted that, me, as far as I'm concerned, I know how Tim write. Like somebody told me, he said, Jack, you're terrible at writing, but I kind of know your style of writing. And I say, yes, I'm terrible at writing, but if you read what I write often, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. Right. So the one thing the person came out and say is like, well, why did you have to say black man? Right? Why couldn't you just say nice guy? Why couldn't you just say this? And I said, and when I saw the comment, I'm like, you know what? Let me see how Tim is gonna defend this. I wanted to come to your defense, but I'm like, nah. Let me see how you gonna explain this, because truly, I really wanted to see if you back down as well. Because the truth here is, this person does not know you. This person doesn't know
Clearly,
what your
doesn't
intentions
doesn't
are.
follow us. Doesn't
Correct.
follow us. Isn't part of our
Correct.
show. I went and looked. Doesn't have anything to do with us at all.
Correct. But the one thing that the person saw, the person saw the post, and again, legit concern, right? In the world we live
Sure,
in, people
absolutely.
have to actually ask why the color matters, right? Why would you say black man? Why wouldn't you say anything else? But again, at the same time, it's like, well, do you know who he's referring to? Do you know who this person is? Right? Do you know why he actually had to use that word? Because yes, truly in this polarized world that we live in, a lot of people use color to separate us.
Yep.
But the one thing we promote on Monday Sucks, what brought us together, is that we love people
Yep.
from all creed, all walk of life. It just so happened that we are all united by the love of whiskey. But we
Right.
love people first and
Sure.
whiskey next.
Sure.
So when I felt like the person really wanted to troll you for a little bit. They were texting your gangster to see how far you can actually be. And I'm glad the way you responded is like, hey, you obviously don't understand what's happening here. If you like to have a conversation about this, I would love to have a private conversation with you. But you not what your white way to go about it is like, you not gonna come. What you're not gonna do is come under my post and start trolling me for me to explain myself. Let's take this outside in the
Yep.
DM. So you
Yep.
handle it the right way. I have no problem with that. But there is people that will have issues with what we have, because truly there's still people that believe that a white man is superior to a black man, or a black man shouldn't associate himself with a white man. But the
Sure.
truth here is, regardless of our color background, and if you go back to the past two episodes that we talked about where we came from. Some people
Yep.
were homeless, some people were military, some people were all these things that affect us that people don't pay attention to, that really brings us together, but
Right.
are not so different from you, right? The
Right.
same wind either blew or is blowing on us all. We all go through the same, some of the same shit that bring us all together. So for that reason, when those things bring us together, why fight it, right? Why
I
fight it?
think you know what I will say this. I will say this as a white privileged man. Okay, one of the things that bothers me most when we're talking about other race is when people say, "I don't see skin color." It's like, why? You should see
Okay.
skin color, but you shouldn't skin color depict who they are.
Oh,
See skin
the
color.
the worst, the I believe the most dismissive and the most probably racist way of talking to people are
Yep.
two sentence. Two
Sure.
sentence bothered the shit out of me. And if you follow us, if you don't learn anything from this whole show, don't use those two sentence. One sentence number one, I don't see color. What the fuck do you do at a light at a
Get
red
out.
light?
Get out of here, dude.
That's a
Yep.
real question. What the fuck do you do at a red light? I don't see color. Oh my god, I don't see color. Get the fuck out. You're not invited to the barbecue. Get out. Get out.
Nope.
The second one is I have black friends. Those two sentences are probably the most detrimental sentences I've ever heard when it comes to a human being shady to
Yep.
other races and other
Agreed.
people is, oh, I don't see color. Really? You don't see color? You colorblind? Are you literally colorblind? If the answer is no, get the fuck out. Second, I have black friends. That having black friend is not an immunity, a
You don't
immunity
get a free
card
pass. It's not a
that
free
you
pass.
hold around to be an
Nope.
asshole.
Nope.
It's like, oh, I have black friend. No, that doesn't mean shit. It
Nope.
really doesn't mean shit, because the truth is there is also black people that cannot stand other black people. So when you say you have black friend, it may just happen that your racist opinion align with a black person that does not like his own kind.
Yep.
So we have a lot of black people that we shun out of the race of black people. We're like, you should join the white folks because that's where you stand. You should join the racists because that's where you stand, because all your opinions. So I have black friends. For me, it's like, and literally people say, well, I'm not racist because I have black friend. Are you probably racist? If you start any statement with I cannot be racist, and I heard people say this, I cannot be racist, I have black friend. What? Who the fuck are you? Like, that's probably the most detrimental thing anybody can say is, oh, I don't see color, or I'm not racist, I have black friend. Where in the law did he say that because you have black friends, you cannot actually be racist? That doesn't even compute in my head. Doesn't make sense. So
Agreed.
when it's somebody said, what if you are actually colorblind? We forgive you because you are not racist. In the army, we all say we all wear green and we hate everyone equally. Yes,
I love
that is true.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That is true. I agree. 100%.
I hate everyone equally.
It's like I say I have black friend in the same as I'm saying I'm not racist. Whatever come next will probably be racist. That is true. That is true.
I always know when someone starts
What's up,
a conversation. I'm not racist, but get out. I don't even want to hear the rest of it. I don't even want to hear the rest of it. Just go.
No.
No.
That's the best one. The best one is, I don't mean to sound racist. And I'm like, what?
I don't mean to sound entitled and full of myself,
racist.
but
so your brain computed this statement, filtered
so
it
you already know
your brain, and you're like, you know what? On the other side, this may come out as racist, but I don't mean to sound racist, but listen to this. And I'm like, what? I think one of the people that I listen to that actually is very edgy in my opinion, but at least is true to the point, is Bill Burr. If you guys ever listen to Bill Burr, You should
No,
listen to Bill
his
Burr.
girlfriend's black. His girlfriend is black.
But he never actually it took a lot of people a long time to actually figure that one out. Is when he made the joke about lotioning every day. That's where people knew that he
I'm
actually,
ashy. I'm
yes,
not ashy.
yeah, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's when people knew. But before then, he was just Bill Burr.
Exactly.
The best thing he ever said is he was telling a bit about he's sitting at a restaurant with this girl, and she say uh the girl saying, I don't mean to sound racist, but there's a lot of Asian in this restaurant, right? And he's like, that's not racist at all. That's just an observation. There's a lot of Asian in this Chinese restaurant. So obviously that's where they are. That's not racist,
Being a
right?
good spot. It's a good spot. It's the place to
Right.
be.
But you know what? The funny thing, he also made a point that I never thought about. He said what gets people in trouble is where they put the fuck before they use any slur, right? And that was actually, I was like, black people come and like, look at this white motherfucker, and you're like, oh, I can see that white motherfucker. But it's like a white man will come in and look at this fucking black guy. It's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. The fuck come after the race, not before.
It's gotta go after.
Gotta go after. If you put it before, you are totally racist. So you gotta know where you put your F. The fuck word have to come. So if you come in and go, oh, look at this white motherfucker in my screen. Okay, like what did this white motherfucker do? It's simple as that. But if I turn around and I say, look at this fucking white guy, like, whoa, what is it about him that makes him the enemy, and you are qualifying him as a fucking his race? So you guys have to learn how to put your F word. So many lives will be saved if you just know that. That's probably the best way I can describe this. But people will always bring out race is not race issues will never die. They will keep going. But when it comes down to it, it's really about how you're approaching this. And that's why every time I have to remind people, either it's on Instagram, either is on is on YouTube, is on Facebook, is anywhere. Just remember that if you put people first and whatever you come to talk about next, it's easier to go through life than to make it about whatever you're talking about, but actually have your own dark demon on the side.
Yep.
I know who Jack is. Either is on my podcast, either is in here. Who I am is who I am. From I've dated in any race. I have friends from any race. I have clients from any race. And as an immigrant, I've traveled to places. I walk into places where I come with no expectation, because I say we all people. Assholes live everywhere in every race. Mm-hmm. Jerks live everywhere in every race. Whiskey lovers live in everywhere in every race. It just so happened, the best thing I've ever heard my dad tell me is the reason why you meet more assholes is because they travel a lot. That's all he said. That was his explanation. I'm like, why is everybody just a jerk? And he's like, jerks travel a lot. That's their specialty. That's why you find them everywhere. But they're still good people. They're just harder to find. So for all of you guys that love people first and whiskey next, welcome to the show. Yeah, we need that thumbs up. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you put a thumbs up. Share with your friends. We're about an hour 9 in. We are going to actually play our game first before we get to bottles that actually made us go. Advice that does not suck. So our question here remains the same. Uh,
I wish I would have taken a picture of it because it was when I sent you a picture of that Lagavulin, and they had a bottle of um, Kentucky Owl Batch 4 Rye for $859.
what the
Exactly.
$800? You mean the miss?
850.
No, you mean the Mister Zero?
No, the Kentucky Owl Batch 4 Rye, $859.
859 motherfucking American dollars.
Right? I saw that bottle and said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yep. There's the bottle that made me go, what the fuck? Yeah.
You know what? Next week, if we don't have a guest, I want to talk about store owners, distributors, and distillers.
So we're supposed to have a guest. We're supposed to have a guest next week. It's supposed to be Marion.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. If we don't have one.
Cool. If we don't have one, that's great. But it's supposed to be Marianne. That's what the show's supposed to be. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, let's dive into this more. If we don't have a guest,
stupid store don't get it. That is true. The craziest thing is I don't understand. $800 for a bottle that is $119?
No, okay. So the Batch 4 Rye, last one that Dixon Dedman did.
Oh no, you're talking about the last rye. The last rye.
Yeah, the Batch
$299.
So,
$299.
Yeah, it was a $300 bottle.
$299. I know this because I bought it at $299.
$859.
So
No.
4 times.
Yes. Yes. Why?
Are you that broke?
I don't hear. Okay, I will say this. Okay, coming from a spot like Kentucky, okay, like Louisville, Kentucky, where there's an influx of people coming in and out, especially coming in and out for Kentucky Derby or Beers Cup or anything that's related to that area that might not be whiskey specific, but there's people that are coming and they're going to be looking for certain bourbons, okay? I understand, I don't agree with, but I understand charging an upcharge for X bottle because going to be people that have more money than sense, and they're going to come give you that money for that bottle, okay? I understand that. Good for you. But being in a place like where I'm at right now, I'm in Big Sky, Montana, okay? At the little local liquor store that's 3 miles down from where I'm at. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense at all. I don't do not get it.
Wow.
I will excuse it to some extent if you're in a place, like I just said, that is complacent on that bottle being sold. But here, nah, man, you're out of your freaking mind completely. It almost feels like it's somebody who saw a Pappy Van Winkle 23-year go for $3,000, and now they get these others and they go, well, I mean, if that bottle went for $3,000, then I can totally explain why this bottle needs to be $850. A lot B for $900. Holy smokes. I love that it's open.
Dude. And do you know what I do with a lot B every time?
You open it. I have
No.
Since we're going,
I literally chug it.
As you should.
Every time I do, I just chug it.
I have to read something to you, okay? And this is pertaining to getting bottles and flipping them. Okay, hold on,
Uh-huh.
let me get to it really quick. So there is somebody in my local community who says they are about sharing and being a part of the whiskey community and yada 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 yada. Um, and in the background, they're going to distilleries and liquor stores and buying mass amounts of bottles and flipping them. And if anyone calls them out, they go, "Oh, well, blah, blah, blah." And this was the quote that they said. And it made me go, you know what? F you. Okay. Getting these bottles allows me to open bottles that I wouldn't normally be able to open. And I was like, okay, first of all, if you bought the bottle, you're opening the bottle. That mindset of I bought this bottle and it's worth $900. So I need other bottles and I'm selling them so I can open this $900 bottle. Dude, F you. Okay. That's not what it's about. If you buy a bottle, you're opening it. Don't pull this. This allows me to do X, Y, and Z. No. This is an excuse for you to do max profits and not be about what this is really about. Drives me absolutely crazy.
The funny
Absolutely
thing is
crazy.
the amount of excuses people actually will make
Oh my God,
for
huge.
their ability to flip bottles, right?
Mhm.
So what is it? I was on our live one on Instagram one time, and this guy was asking offering a trade, right?
Okay, sure.
They do their show where the trade stuff, and it took me back to 5 years ago,
Mm.
where I was one of those idiots. I say idiots because truly the difference between someone who buys something, who trades something just because they want a bottle versus someone who take their time and really find something is patience, right? Everything in the
Sure.
bourbon game is patience. So
Sure.
here's the funny thing. I went to somebody's home and the person had three Booker's Rye.
Holy
Yeah,
smokes, 3?
just sitting in their cabinet.
Were they open?
One of them was open, right?
Okay.
And I asked him,
Okay.
I say, dude, like I'm freaking out, like, oh my God, dude, crazy, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I know they're thinking about it. He's like, and literally say, I remember when they came into town, we only get 2 or 3, but my store that I had a relationship with will always let me get one, right? And I just love drinking them. And he looked at me, he goes, I can't let you have one because I know they're hard to come by. But guess what? Go there, open that one, pour yourself one of those, right? And for me, that was enough.
Sure.
Welcome, Glenn. Welcome. That was enough because I got to actually pour myself a Booker's Rye. Pour myself, not somebody pouring me. Pour myself a Booker. I'm like, that's good. If one day it comes in and I had a choice between bottles, I'm totally getting that Booker's Rye.
I will
See you,
tell you
Stan.
this. I would later, buddy. I would cut a lot of the stuff that I have that's open or that I could drink again to be able to have a bottle of Booker's Rye that I could sip on and share with people.
Correct.
Because that thing is freaking phenomenal.
It
and the
is.
people that aren't opening them because of how much it's worth, dude, you're missing it, man. You're missing out on a great bottle and you're missing out on great opportunities with that bottle. It bums me out. It almost makes me angry. But then I go, not worth it, right? Not worth my time, not worth my stress, not worth any of it.
Mhm.
But at least worth enough to go, bro, what are you doing? And move on. That's all I'm ever going to do. I'm going to say, what are you doing? And at least plant the seed to like maybe make them rethink why that bottle's up on the shelf and not open,
Yeah.
right?
And I will tell you right now, it's one of those things where you sit here and you go, you sit there and you go, you know what? I'm glad I have this bottle. I'm glad I was able to drink it. But I'm like, I'm not gonna miss it. That's true. That's true. So
So
there's plenty of bottle like that,
do you have a bottle that made you go, what the fuck?
dude. So I have to thank Sean.
Okay.
Sean was my meal this whole week. I have like two more boxes coming to him because I'm an asshole like that. But um for this for the Isla when we are doing the art bag,
Mhm.
I was able to receive a cask of the Buna because Buna Distillery since the pandemic weren't able to release all their casks. So through the years, the master
Oh,
distiller
wow.
had picked like 7 or 8 casks that were
Okay.
supposed to come out, and I literally bought it directly from the distillery, all 7 casks. And I'm telling you what, whoa, 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 literally, um, I'm telling you right now, literally, he sat there, I sat here, we pour each other. Like you remember, like remember how you want to share whiskey with someone, and you're like, you guys just had like a transcendent, a universe linking your souls together moment because you
Absolutely.
just shared a pour,
Totally.
like step brothers. Like, did we become best friend through just drinking? Like
Yep.
I
Sure.
poured, I opened brand new bottle, opened it, poured, and literally we looked at each other, we took a sip, and I looked back at him, he looked at me, he's like, fuck. I said, fucking did. And this weekend I'm going to an event with the brothers, the spirit brothers, and I'm taking this shit with me just to have him actually try a pour. Not for everybody, but just for him to try a pour. I was supposed to have him on Memorial Day weekend, but I was just busy. I will make sure that he get a pour, blow his freaking mind
Sure.
out of this world.
Sure.
So it's one of those things where is I literally looked at it and I went, this is a scotch you want to share with people you love,
Yeah.
like people you love, because all he said to me is love, brotherhood, friendship.
Mm.
So yeah, that my what the fuck woman is like, I'd never thought a day a scotch would make me feel so close to another man,
Wow. That's
right?
special. That's
And I was
special.
like, whoa. And him and I for 3 hours just sat here and just had 2 pours. We're talking
Mm.
60% proof. So
Sure.
it's
Sure.
also cast strength. We
Oh,
had two
yeah.
pours, and he looked at me. He's like, "We should be having a cigar." And I'm like, "Yes, we should." And we went outside and we had a nice cigar. And we like, you know what? Yeah, I have 2 more boxes. I have 2 more boxes. Yeah, he knows. Somebody's asking a question. What do we think about the B521?
That was the one that came down to 118 proof.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm not even going to speak on proof. The fact that they're still putting out 12-year-old cash strength Elijah Craig and they haven't pulled the age statement, what's up? I appreciate the heck out of them for doing that. The proof is going to change, okay? Here's a perfect example, okay? And Jack can speak to this too, okay? So 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago now, 3 years ago, when New Riff first released their single barrel project, where you could come and pick a barrel at the distillery and bottle it for yourself, their proofs were up in like the 110s, the 112s, the 113s, the 114s. They had very high proof single barrels for them. And I'm saying high proof because they're going in at 110, and having something over 110 is impressive for a single barrel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This year, a lot of their single barrels have been 103 proof, 104 proof, 105 proof. And that's just because of whatever's happening in the season, whatever's happening in the weather, whatever's happening in the rick house. All of those things are
Some
contributing.
things are happening in the rig house because I got complaints about New Riff. I have a lot of complaints about New Riff.
But it's going to change. It's going to flex. Okay. Prior to this, we had 132 proof. Before we had the 132 proof, we were sitting in like the 120s, like the low 120s. And prior to that, we were like 130s, high 130s, 140s, and that was the regular. So people were complaining. This is going to change. It's gonna always fluctuate. I don't feel like they deliberately released a young barrel proof or a low barrel proof. I feel like they have a special place in their rick houses where they pick their barrel proof 12-year from, and these barrels for this year just happen to be 118 proof. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the B9 21. Okay, or the C9.
Does he really make a difference? The B, does he make a difference? You know what? I'm gonna say something today. I know I'm gonna get some slack for it. The only Elijah Craig I like is the barrel proof.
Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I don't even.
That toasted.
I don't like the toasted.
Elijah Craig, barrel pick, whatever the fuck comes out of Elijah Craig doesn't just taste right, and I can barely sustain the barrel proof. There is a finish on Elijah Craig that I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sit right. You know the funny thing, I can drink Evan William bottle and bun all day. I even had the Evan William 23 year where you think it'll be over oaked. Love it.
Sure.
I have my special bottle of 100 bottle and bun Evan Williams that is here, and I'm like, I can't wait to crack that. But I'm telling you right now, Elijah Craig, I don't know what it is. Somebody came to me like, toasted barrel. Toasted barrel. I'm like, no. It doesn't matter if it's A, B, C, whatever the room is, doesn't matter. For me, it's like,
there really is the large variations. Dose is like blah.
I like Elijah Craig. Well, how about their
rye? Don't like their rye either. I can't mess with it.
You know what? Like do you know who I blame for not liking most ryes? I blame two distilleries.
Okay.
I blame Buffalo Trace and I blame Michter's. They set the standard for rye so high.
They really did.
So high that I don't think a lot of rye from Kentucky can compete.
I will agree with that statement, saying there's very few ryes.
Which I actually can talk shit because I know you're a Wild Turkey fan, and I am also, but I have a couple of the Wild Turkey rye. What do you think of that?
What do I think of their rye?
Wild Turkey rye, yeah.
I would pick. So I love that they did the rye, the cash strength, the rare breed rye. I think that's cool. Great concept. But I would still pick the 101 rye over the cash strength rye. Okay. I've loved the 101 rye. I think it's a great product. It's consistent. It's tasty. It doesn't disappoint. It's decently priced. I would pick it over. I think the rare breed rye is great, but I would still pick it over it.
I will tell you right now, I love 291 rye. As far as ryes that have impressed me so far, 291 rye. Jack
Agreed.
Daniel Castrate rye was fucking
Agreed.
amazing.
Agreed. Agreed.
What do you call it? Uh, what are the rye? What are the rye? Michter's rye impressed me. 291 impressed me. Jack
Booker's
Daniel
rye.
rye impressed me.
Booker's rye.
Booker's rye is by the gods there, so we don't talk about it. Uh,
But yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's not
Old
a whole lot of
Carter.
Kentucky. Sure.
Kentucky out.
Absolutely.
Kentucky
Absolutely.
out rye.
Agreed. Agreed. Batch one.
Kentucky out rye.
Batch one.
Kentucky
Batch one.
out
Kentucky
rye.
All Right.
Batch one.
Batch one. Hands down. Hands down.
Ah.
Hands down. Absolutely. Cannot disagree with that at all. Cannot disagree.
Even the
Cannot.
last batch. Even the last batch. Even the last batch. I'll even give it to the last batch.
But batch
Whoa.
one, ooh, oof, that batch one. Sure. Sure. Yep. Yeah, dude. I got you.
Old Saint Nick Summer Rye. Old Saint Nick Summer Rye, believe it or not, is actually as comparable to Angel Envy Rye because it's very sweet.
Mhm.
But if I had to take a rye that I can actually play with, Old Saint Nick Rye is too expensive for what they're bringing out. So I would definitely go buy an Angel Envy Rye because it's the same thing.
What was the Saint Nick rye that you let me try that was finished?
That's the one he's talking about.
Okay, that was delicious.
It is delicious. It is
Way
delicious.
overpriced.
Way overpriced. Oh, I didn't tell you what happened with them.
Oh, story time. Story time. Let's hear. What's going on?
So funny thing is, this week, I realized that they come under the rye and under my post of them. I give homage to distilleries, making sure that they're doing well and whatnot. I give homage to distilleries. But if you're gonna use my picture, won't you ask me permission?
Oh, no way.
I'll leave it there.
Okay. You know who else dealt with that this week is Bourbon Cheaper.
Yeah, Bourbon Jeeper and I have had a conversation about that.
As he did. And I was like, man, I can't even. I can't even. We'll just leave it at that. Can't even.
Yep. But let's just say that is all fixed now.
Good.
Because Instagram, there is a reason why my signature is on all my pictures. It took only Instagram 30 minutes.
I've noticed. All right, so since we're in this realm of talking about ryes, I want to ask you one more question. I feel like we've asked this question plenty of times on the show, but I'm going to close out with it. Because I'm not gonna just limit to whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, what's the best spirit you ever drank? Where you were just like, I can't even understand what's happening now. What's the best spirit you ever had?
There are multiples, so I can't limit it.
But what's the one that sticks out the most? Because I agree with you. There's multiples for me as well, but there's got to be at least one that sticks out the most.
Like meaning. So I'll have to say Signatory Glen Roth cast 15 years.
Okay.
Cast strength. Signatory vintage. I don't know what happened there. I really don't. And I already finished the bottle. So here's the funny thing. I never actually officially, unless I have a party by myself, finish a bottle. I bought this the first time I visited Kentucky. and I buried this bottle already. I taste Signatory just did it. You know, he had everything that I needed. The Sherry Hedgehog. It was 15 or 17 years. It was just really. It had every flavor I wanted from my single malt. What's up, Steve?
What's up, buddy?
Just picked up a Kentucky Batch 3, 179. Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, there you go. That's perfect. That's great.
Have you ever had Alberta Premium Rye? I did. I did have Alberta
100
Premium Rye.
100 and what? 32 proof.
What?
It was up
66.
there. It was
66.
66.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so 132. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Alberta Rye is good, but it wasn't memorable for me.
Sure.
It wasn't memorable. It is good. I'm not gonna lie. It is good, but not memorable. I think I had the Lot 40. Lot 40.
Oh my god, the
Rye.
Lot 40 cash strength.
Cash strength.
Oh, God.
That shit was bananas.
Oh, that's I love that's one of those bottles that I'm like, give me it. Let's take it.
What
Okay,
am I
so for
drinking?
me,
I'm drinking a 2011 Boonahaven Signatory 2011 Boonahaven.
I'm drinking the last of this bottle. Just a little
68% ABV.
Okay, so the one spirit that sticks out to me most. Man.
I'll be surprised if it's not a old dusty wild turkey.
It's so it's between two bottles right now. It's between I hate to bring them up, but it's between a 1941 JTS Brown Bottled and Bond and a 1972 New York Wild Turkey. Both of those, so they both hold special things for me that stick out the most. The 41 sticks out to me a lot because I was at a bottle share at my house, invited just a bunch of people over. There's probably like at one point 30 people at my house, and the night was winding down. And there's probably like a dozen people left, and it was split between different parts of the house of people hanging out. And one of my really good friends came in and put glass to my chest like this and said, "Come outside." And I said, "Oh shit, okay." And the dude that was out there had just opened a 1941 TS Brown, and the five of us just sat around and drank the bottle till it was gone. Awesome experience, awesome whiskey. So based on experience-wise, based on memory, the 41 is a great memory. But just based on like killer whiskey and something I don't think I'll ever be able to have again or replicate, the 72 Wild Turkey from New York was just mind-blowing. It's unlike any other Wild Turkey you'll ever have or ever see again. It's incredible. It's something to stick with you. If you can get into any, I will tell you this, if you want to get into vintage Wild Turkey and you want to have something that is just completely bananas and off the beaten path, try to find something that's from Wild Turkey and from when they were in New York before they switched to Lawrenceburg. They switched to Lawrenceburg in 72. So the thing that I had from 72 was like one of the last releases from New York. So something pre-72 from Wild Turkey, go check it out. It's going to cost you some money, but I guarantee it will be like unlike any Wild Turkey experience you've ever had. Absolutely incredible. There you go. And that's that.
So we will be winding down the show. We always finish the same way we finish the show, by asking the harder question, which is advice that does not suck.
Oh man, that's a interesting one for me this week because I'm on vacation and I'm trying it, and I think doing my best to stay off of social media.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still little things that make its way through. And something happened recently,
Mm-hmm.
and it made a couple people kind of flip on their axis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to say change who they are, but definitely change their pace
Mm-hmm.
in like the whiskey community.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be my advice that does not suck. If you are faced with something from somebody, and I'm gonna saying this as in the fact of like, if somebody's calling you out on something, okay, instead of getting defensive, take a second and really listen to what they're saying. Really just hear them out. There's a good chance that they're running off their feelings, and what they're having to say may not add up. But there's also a really good chance that what they're saying will add up, and it's going to be a turning point for you in your life and when I say in your life, in the whiskey community, okay? Not in your every day-to-day life, but in this in and out, like engaging in people, sharing with people. There's going to be a turning point. So just hear them out, and take it with a grain of salt, and weigh in on it. If it's something that makes you go, huh, maybe explore that a little bit. If it's something where you're like, nah, cool, just go with it. But be I guess be open, be receptive to what others are saying about you. I guess that you could boil it down to.
I'm gonna. My advice that does not suck will be an African
Oh,
parable.
okay. There we go.
And there's an African parable that says, "Whomever goes to bed with an itchy booty will wake up with stinky fingers." Whomever goes to bed with an itchy booty will wake up with stinky fingers. That is an African parable. And what it means is that sometimes preventing the problem is better than finding a solution.
Mm.
If you know your booty is already itching, you know if you go to bed, you're going to scratch your ass and you're going to wake up with some stinky ass fingers. So prevent the problem before you have to find a solution for it, because you never actually know what the solution will be. So in this community, you know, we go through a lot of things, but sometimes you got to see things happening. A lot of things are happening in the whiskey community, and I said the last time, no, people for their handle, but try to
Mm.
know them beyond their handle. You will be
Sure.
surprised what you find out.
Sure.
So, when you wake up with dogs, you may end up with fleas. That's another the same thing as well. But whomever goes to bed with an itchy booty will wake up with sticky fingers. So the reason why we I've always been told that by my grandmother is, she always tell you, why you trying to wait till you find a solution when you can actually just prevent the problem. Wash your ass before you go to bed if you have an itchy booty. That's all right. So it's the same thing here, right? Prevent the problem. Don't try to find a solution at all. Please don't. Sometimes it's just staying away from the problem will help. So stay away from the negativity, you'll be fine. We are the sum of what we consume, right? We are the sum of the people around us. It's okay to actually walk away from people and say, you know what, it's all right. Keep it for yourself. I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It may means that you're not getting your favorite bottles anymore. It may means that you're not getting your shout outs on Instagram anymore. It may means that you will not be liked by those people anymore. But guess what? As long as you have your peace, As long as you have your peace, you're fine. As long as you don't have that drama in your life, you're fine. As long as all that negativity doesn't embark into your life, you're fine. So don't go to bed with an itchy booty. You may wake up with just stinky ass fingers. That's true. It's as simple as that. That was my advice that does not suck.
uh, Send me a message. That's the
Yeah,
best way to
Kobe.
say it.
Kobe sent a
Send
message.
me send me a message on Instagram
Tell
at
me
Single Barrel
who
Snob.
bum with it will tell you who you what your worth. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on this Monday. We appreciate you guys coming on as always. We love coming here and hanging out with y'all. We are picking up the pace. If you're on my YouTube channel, remember now I've created membership. You guys can now be members of Hood Sommelier. It's $2.99, $1.99, and $4.99. You can actually have be a member of the channel. I'll be creating some content specifically just for members to make sure that you guys are getting exclusive content that's not available for everybody. But we love your support. We love when you hear and you support us. We cannot be here without y'all. Yes, we actually can, but we choose not to be. We love to hang out with y'all. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like the page. A lot of good things coming on. We talked a lot about Scotch today. Scotch School is gonna come on. I'll be teaching. I teach people how to enjoy single malt and really discover single malt. I will love to come to your city and help you actually help you and your friend learn more about Scotch. Um, Tim, tell the people where they can find you.
You find me on Instagram at Single Barrel Snob, modernthirst.com, whiskey news and reviews. Find me on the YouTube at Modern Thirst, and at here every Monday for Monday Sucks. Jack, tell them what's good.
Of course, you can find me everywhere. Today, for some reason, last week I just blew up on TikTok. I don't know how that happened. Right? I'm Hood Sommelier everywhere. I'm Hood Sommelier on YouTube here. Make sure you actually come on, become a member. We'll love to have you as a member. Um, Good perks that come with your membership. Um, Make sure that you follow us on IG Hood Sommelier almost anywhere. And if you're on TikTok, check me out. Apparently, talking about Blantons makes you popular. I actually went from 200 people following Hood Sommelier on TikTok to 1100 people in 3 days. I'm like,
Shoot.
oh,
Okay, that's what I need to do. There you
okay,
go.
all right. But just there, I live to educate and I live to have fun, and I love people first and whiskey next. This was Monday Sucks. We are here. I am Jack Bigadoo, the Hood Sommelier, and always here to serve you. And who are you?
I am Timothy Van Riper, TVR, the Single Barrel Snob. And yeah, like Jack said, people first, spirits second. So come hang out and
Thank
have a good
y'all.
time.
Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you next Monday. All
Cheers,
right.
dudes.